I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Malik Wajante, and we are back with another video. So y'all, today my brain, my mental has been all over the place. It is currently 8 o'clock and I decided to record a video. Not because I had a plan to, not because anything. Oh, y'all hear my stomach a little hungry, but we not about to eat. Not because I planned to, not because I needed to, but because my brain has just been all over the place, and I don't know if we're in retrograde or whatever the heck that is, but I just wanted to like sit down, do my makeup, do my hair, because it's therapeutic to me, one, and two, just talk to you guys and let you guys like get to know me a little bit more, get to know how my brain works. Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into the video. Honestly, I've been feeling a little, I don't even know what I would call it, but today's video is going to be just a little bit different, in the sense that I really want to just talk to you guys because a lot has been on my mind. So I need something to do with my hands while I'm talking to you guys, and that's going to be do my makeup. That's just what I feel like doing today. Like, I don't feel like watching TV. I don't feel like watching YouTube. None of those things. So we're going to get into it. It's probably not going to be as organized as I would like it to be, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and get into this hair, honey. And if y'all hear that, it is this bar stool that I literally have had since I used to braid hair. And yeah, I need to get some bar stools, but that's not a priority right now. The priority is doing this hair. Okay? So let's get into why I'm really here. Oh, it's gonna annoy me. Oh, it's annoying me already. All right, y'all, we back. I think we back. I think I'm in a better space. I had to switch chairs. That chair was it was going to drive me crazy. But we're going to use this Infinity Pro Conair. I think it's a 2-inch barrel. Whatever. This is just a talk. So, what do I want to talk about? I don't know if it's this little retrograde, whatever they want to call it, situation, but I've been feeling like I haven't accomplished anything. Kind of how I just been feeling like you do so much, time goes by, and then maybe you feel like you just haven't done enough in life, or you haven't accomplished a lot, or child, one moment, the phone has been but you just feel like you haven't done everything you set out to accomplish in the year. It's now October, what is today? Alexa, what's today's date?
It's Monday, October 23rd. If you'd like, I can tell you the time and reminders for the day when you dismiss your morning alarm.
No, I'm okay.
To enable this
routine? No. She be doing
problem.
too much. She be doing too much. I asked her one thing and now she wanna, you know, focus. So I just been feeling like I haven't accomplished a lot, or I haven't really put myself in a space of actively going after those goals that I set for myself. I think sometimes we expect, or we would love to just wake up and be successful, and it's just not realistic, especially in this world where we're very oversaturated with social media, with the millions and billions of people that there are in the world. The world is just overstimulated, and so sometimes it can just feel like you're not doing enough. I was watching Monet McDaniels, the Grwm, Miss Monet, okay? She was just going over like how sometimes it's unbelievable to see where she is in life, but she also like put herself on a strict schedule. And sometimes, y'all, almost burnt myself. You put yourself on a strict schedule, and when you look up, you don't realize how much you've accomplished. And that was the gist of the conversation. Like sometimes if you just keep your head down, and not in a sense of someone's better than you, keep your head down, don't pay it, like, no, keep your head down and grind. If we stayed in that mindset sometimes, I think we would feel a little bit more accomplished. And I think that's where I'm at right now. Personally, I've been doing this like social media content creation for a few years now. But can we say it's been consistent? No. And that's the problem. Like, I'll get on the good stride of like, oh, I'm posting, I'm being consistent, and it'll be a month and I don't see the results that I expect, and I give up. It's a sense of like, nobody's paying attention, nobody sees me. Why don't they see how great I am? And the reality is, I have to be that for myself before anybody else can believe it. Like, I can't expect to be great or people to see my greatness if every time I get on a consistent like schedule or dedication, I'm like, nobody gets it. Nobody wants to see me grow. Nobody likes me. Nobody sees my potential. And I just stop. And I'm like, oh, I need a break. No, you don't need a break. You need to push into yourself and keep going. Like, Beyonce is not who Beyonce is because she gave up when things got rough, or Girls' Time didn't work out. Or Destiny's Child, the original 4 didn't work out. All I was to keep it real, didn't get caught up in how to make you feel. All the things I'm doing that you thought. No, she continuously reinvented herself and kept going because she had a passion and a dream for it. I have a passion and a dream for all of this, but I give up too easily. I give up too easily. Like, that's the real tea. If I would stop giving up on myself, I could be so much further in my goals and my dreams. Like, there's no point of me having having my vision board on my screensaver on my phone, on my iPad, in my house, if I'm going to constantly not apply pressure. Like, it just doesn't make sense. LeBron James is not as great as he is because he just like gave up, or because he just doesn't constantly put daily deposits into his dreams and goals. No, he continuously does, which is why he is who he is. And not even just to say that about celebrities, I say that about my everyday people, like my cousin. He's a freaking pediatric dentist. He didn't get there by just like, oh, I'm gonna be a dentist. No, he didn't wake up and just was able to become a dentist. He spent multiple child. Don't know how he did it. Love him to death, but I don't know how he did it. He spent multiple years going after his dreams, going after his goals. And sometimes our goals and our dreams get redirected. Sometimes we have to believe in ourselves more than other people believe in us. You got to be a little delulu. You have to be delusional a little bit so that you can obtain those goals and dreams. And that's where I am currently. Girl, that didn't even, oh, it's coming. That's where I am. Just like, I am in a delusional state of figuring it out, like, without anybody else's pressures, without anybody else's like thoughts and opinions. I don't really care about their thoughts and opinions. I always, like, in the back of my head would think about how my parents thought about something, or would my parents approve of this? Would they look bad at me? Would they look like, would they be disappointed? That was always something that was in my head. Like, I never ever wanted to do anything that would disappoint either one of my parents. Either one of my parents. And sometimes it's like hard to unlearn those traits. Like, when you're doing something or you're making a big decision, you think about the people who raised you, who spent time and effort in developing you, but realistically, like, they're living their life. They're living the life that they chose by the decisions that they made. And I have to do the same. I think that started when I moved to Houston. I told you guys this, like, I'm moving despite the naysayers. And I had to do it for me. And I'm not saying that I'm leaving Houston, because, girl, we love Houston, okay? We love Houston. We love the weather. We love the opportunities. We love the fact that there's something always to do. We love the black men that are here. Let's be clear. The black men are gorgeous. Are they still a little iffy? Yeah. But we love the black men that are here. That's where I am. Like, I'm very much so creating boundaries, creating an atmosphere of doing what I want to do, doing what makes me happy, doing just that. Ooh, girl, you did that, okay? You did that, and you did it well. Y'all, it's curled, okay? It's curled. We're gonna let them sit, and let's get into this face and let's talk a little bit more. So I have a friend. We've been friends since first grade, third grade, something elementary, right? And she's seen my family in an apartment when my parents bought a house. We did go to high school together for a moment. And then I feel like when she left my high school, we kind of like, we were on different paths. I've always been a very driven, very, like, I guess you want to say type A type of personality, in the sense that, or not even type A, let's just say I was very much so, like I said in the beginning, what did my parents expect of me? Because that's exactly what I'm going to do type of person. I never wanted to displease my parents. I never wanted to, like, the arguments thing, Did I get smart with my mom sometimes? Yeah, sometimes. That's what a teenager does. But it was never to the point where, I don't know, it was just never to the point where we was like this. We were very much so like this, and still to this day, even throughout boundaries, we're still pretty good, locked in, you know? But in high school, I felt like my focus was school, school, school. We're going to college. We're going to do the right thing, you know? And on her end, I feel like it was more or less, her focus were boys, and My mom was very much so vocal. Like, she never told me personally, like, don't be boy crazy, da 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 da. But I could hear how she would talk to her friends, aunts and uncles about girls who were boy crazy. So in my head, that stuck with me. Those are small things that literally just stuck with me of what not to focus on and what to focus on. Let's focus on the schoolwork, do anything so that my parents wouldn't say anything crazy about me, or like, oh, she's giving me a headache, she's giving me a problem. And that was my focus, and I kept that focus. I never wanted to disappoint my parents. I never wanted to have them look bad, really. That was really the thing. Like, I just never wanted them to look bad. So in doing so, every decision I made was about pleasing my parents. Freshman year of college, I did go to Xavier University, and it was my moment of freedom, and I didn't have anyone down my throat like, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. And that's why my behind flunked out of school. I mean, not literally flunked out, but girl, you lost your academic scholarship. And those were things I just never said. I never said it. I lost my scholarship because I was not performing how I was supposed to perform. And that was on me. And with that, I always blamed it on, oh, school was too much. No, it could have been handled had my behind not gotten bad grades my first semester of freshman year. Did we pick things up around second semester? Sure. But I did so bad that it just wasn't anything that I could keep my scholarship. So we had to regroup and transfer schools. Now, what I wasn't going to do was just drop out of school altogether, because once again, my focus was not disappointing my parents. And to see how proud they were of me going to school, the focus was maintaining that sense of being proud. Like, I wasn't about to mess that up. My focus, fake it till you make it. And that's what I did for a lot of my life. I faked it until I made it. I started off freshman year as a criminal justice major. Did I enjoy criminal justice shows? Yeah. Did I want to be a lawyer at one point? Yeah. But I think freshman year I started to realize that's not what I wanted to do. And at that point, I should have switched my major into something that interests me, like marketing or anything, business, whatever. But instead of switching, instead of pivoting, I stayed in criminal justice and I got the degree. So now I'm an adult and I'm trying to figure out life, and I done moved from Dayton to Columbus, and I'm just figuring things out. Not really knowing what I want to do. Reality is setting in, and I'm figuring out who I am, what I like, what I don't like, what I'm okay with, what I'm not okay with, who I'm okay with, who I'm not okay with. You know, all of the things we're figuring out as an adult. And in the midst of that, still pretending to like certain things only because I don't want to disapprove or disappoint anybody. And like I say, I was a late bloomer to the idea of male relationships, late bloomer to the fact of just doing what my parents didn't agree with, late bloomer of just like stepping out on faith and doing what makes me happy, even if someone else is not happy. 30 going into 31, we finally decided that we should be happy. We should do what makes us happy. I've always had glimpses of what genuinely made me happy. I took a trip my senior year, going into my senior year of undergrad, to Texas, and I loved it. And I always said that I was moving here. And then reality set in, and I was like, no, my mom wouldn't be happy. She wouldn't be happy, and it's not as if she said she wouldn't be happy. It was something that I put into my head, like, she wouldn't be happy. She would not be okay with this. I need to figure out something else. I need to stay close to home. So we stayed close to home, child, for a long time. And then we realized from a stranger, not a stranger, but a client, sometimes you got to do what makes you happy. It was just like she was that blessing that I don't know if she really realizes, where she was just like, why are you doing things to please other people when you have to be happy yourself? And I was just like, I didn't have an answer, y'all. I was shook it. Pure on shook it, because she was right. Like, I did a lot of people pleasing. And who knew that was the case? Because I'm not really a people pleaser. But I was people pleasing in a sense where if it made other people happy, I would do it. So they wouldn't look bad at me or look down at me, or it was really weird. But I say all that to say, like, I really had to focus on my happiness, and focus on my happiness included me being far away from home so that I can focus on me and kind of be selfish. When I moved, I literally, do y'all see that? Made the decision that I was moving, and then told my mom, and then told my parents. You know what I mean? Like, I had to make the decision on my own without anyone else's thoughts, opinions, so that I wouldn't back out. And it was a hard transition because I don't know, like, I just don't like disappointing people. It shakes me. It really shakes me. Like, I just I can't do it. Like, I always want to be that friend that shows up. I always want to be that cousin that shows up. If you tell me, I'm showing up. If you want the support, I'm showing up. But sometimes I had to stop doing that because you don't get that reciprocated feeling. Ooh. Because realistically, everybody's in their own world. Everybody's living their own great life, and they have to be selfish. Being selfish, it was okay. Like, I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to do what makes me happy. I'm going to cut people off. And not like maliciously cut people off, but if you don't serve me, we can't be friends. And it's not like we're going to have a sit down conversation. Hello, youth. I'm the godfather and I'm going to tell you, no, I'm just not going to entertain you any longer. Literally what it's going to be. I'm just going to stop entertaining you because it makes no sense to entertain you at this point. We're not growing. You're not growing. And it just doesn't work for me. You no longer serve the person that I'm becoming. Okay, I'm very much so in the spirit of drink your water and mind your business. Just reflecting and putting the pressure back on me has been the focus. I'm literally in the midst of a conversation with two friends about being intentional and an understanding that my intentions have to genuinely be focused on the end goal and not where we are currently. Like, truly and honestly doing the work. Like, I complain about the new age kids. They not kids, they adults, but the new age adults and them like wanting things overnight. And part of me is I'm in the same boat because I was just like not honed in on the work. Like, do the work, sis. Do the work and it will all work out. I gotta do the work and it'll all work out. It'll all pay off. I truly and honestly believe it. Like, where's the text? Let me show you. So I'm a Cancer. We're very much so, we can feel very heavy. And sometimes I have random moments where I just feel people's energy. We can be miles away, or I can feel like something's not right. And I have to reach out. Like, my mind, my spirit will not allow me not to reach out. And I reached out to one of my friends that I haven't talked to in so long. And it's not because we beefing or whatever. Life be lifing. I reached out to her, and we're going to have to give you the unexplicit version of the conversation. But I just told her I've been focused on like consistency and showing up for myself and self-reflection. And her initial reaction was, I almost shouted, because I've been saying the same thing to myself. I've always been my own worst enemy, but enough is literally enough. God keeps pointing it out in different ways, and I had to start paying attention. It's coming, sis. It's really coming. And that's the truth. Like, sometimes we derail our own path because we're so like, I don't know what it is. We just like, we get that negative talk. Sometimes it's the devil. And that was the word this weekend on Sunday with Pastor Keon Henderson. Like, we get in our own way because we allow certain things to like derail us from what's going on. And I just can't entertain it anymore. Like, I can't entertain the, need to back y'all up some. Y'all was in my reel. I can't entertain the negative energy anymore. Like, the things that I would entertain at 25 and 20, hell, 30, I can't entertain anymore at 32. Like, we have limited time on this earth, and entertaining all of that craziness, I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm a good time. We can joke, we can kid, we can laugh, but certain stuff just doesn't, it doesn't tickle my fancy. It doesn't tickle my fancy anymore. Like, going out, give me a day party. And I really only want to be there for a couple hours, and maybe that. The gossiping, I ain't got it to do. The like negative talk, I ain't got it to do. The, well, this person, how many times we gonna have this conversation? I don't like that. Like, the let me talk bad about myself concept, Let's figure out how we can be better. That's where I am with things. Like, I just feel like I'm growing and I'm maturing, and I love that for me so much that I want that for everybody around me. And I think sometimes people aren't growing in the same direction or the same pace, and we have to be understanding but also realistic that maybe they're just not where you are, and do just that. Like, girl, if they not there, okay, cool. Set your boundaries. Let them know what you're open and willing to talk about. Let them know. Like, give them a few chances, but then from there, gas to go. But yeah, I've been really, really silent and really just like in a reflective state. And realistically, I think it's needed. It's really, really, really needed. Even down to this world of dating. They're not the gentlemen that my dad and my uncles were. Like, they truly and honestly are not. Like, they don't want to approach. They don't want to take the lead, but they want to be considered a head of household, or they just want to, I don't know what it is, child. It blows my mind every time I talk about it. But men are not who they don't portray themselves in the best possible way. But I think we've all been victim to being oversaturated. Like, realistically, just oversaturated, overstimulated. Men have so many options. Women, I don't really know if I can say the same. And that's not just me being biased, but just like, men just don't approach anymore. They want you to like go approaching them. And not saying that I'm against approaching a man, because I'm very much so confident, very much so open to talking to somebody. But you're also very much so a man. Why can't you stand on it? Like, what was I watching? I was watching someone, and they were like, men expect you to send them a drink at the bar, or they want you to step up to them the first way because they don't want to be rejected. Grow some cojones. Like, you don't want to be rejected, sir. So you want us to, like, it just doesn't, the math don't be mathing for me. It just doesn't make sense to me. You want to be the man, but you also want your woman to be manly, but you also want your woman to submit, but you also want her. It's like you want us to be the head, but you also want to be the head. We're not about to be a two-headed giant here. Decide on what you want to do and move accordingly. And maybe because I'm a very no BS type of woman, where like, don't come at me sideways, because then we really not about to get no reception. Like, it's gonna be a misconnection, like a disconnect. Like, who? My thing be, who is raising y'all? Cause it couldn't have been my uncles. It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been my granddaddy. He may have been a smooth criminal, but he knew how to, you know, like, approach a lady. Like, I seen, y'all, clearly I like podcasts and watching certain things, but I literally just seen a video of a woman like, I wish more women and men, because it's not just on one side, held themselves to a higher standard, and not just on the basis of money and what somebody can provide for them. Because as quickly as you can gain monetary value, you can also lose that monetary value. So in the core of you as a human being, who are you? Like, I wish more people worked in that atmosphere, because it's given very materialistic, very, what do you bring to the table? Can you cook? Can you cook? Like, who are you as a person? That'd be my focus. Like, are we compatible? If something happened, can we work ourselves through it to get through the situation? That'd be my thought process. The whole like, oh, he took me to Red Lobster conversation, but y'all ate, so now there's a problem. I'm confused. A couple years ago, it was Beyonce talking about, y'all see that? I got hands, child. Beyonce said she took her man to Red Lobster and life was good. Y'all was all for it. Now y'all can't go to Red Lobster. Red Lobster used to be the high-end place, you know? I love me a good endless shrimp child. But also, who are you? Like, as a person, who are you? If more people thought in that concept, we would be so much better off. But so much better off. Girl, I don't even know if that's right vernacularly. But I just, that's where my mind has been. Relationships, relationship wise, that's platonic as well as romantic. I just don't like where we're headed as a community, and I just be needing a pause and a reset and a let go. If you were able to get through this video, kudos to you, because this is really just my mind being everywhere. My mind literally just spewing out what's going on inside. So I say all that to say we're figuring it out. I'm not perfect. Life isn't perfect. I truly believe that I am where I'm supposed to be. But I also feel like to get where I want to be, I need to buckle down on my dreams and my goals and stop creating excuses for myself. Because it's getting out of hand. I need to be consistent and persistent. I just have to like buckle down and not focus on what everybody else has going on, because they are living their lives and I need to live my life. Yeah, I got this little mini mascara from Ulta, and it ain't zhuzhing like my $4.99, and it's Lancome. Give me my $4.99. A good old Essence Lash Princess, she do what she supposed to do every time. Yeah. This is what 30 gives you. Chaos in your mind. Questioning of where you're supposed to be in life. I love to see younger people like in their 20s, like by my 30s, I'm gonna have it all figured out. And I don't ever want to rain on anyone's parade and be like, girl, no you won't. But realistically, we still figuring it out. We are still figuring it out. What the heck? Y'all see that? Let that dry and then move it. And it's not just me. I have this conversation with majority of my friends, majority of my cousins, hell, majority of my coworkers. We are all just trying to figure it out, sis. We are all just trying to figure it out, and if somebody says they're not, they're lying. They're lying. They're absolutely lying. But yeah, let's close it. Let's move this stuff out my way. Move out my way. Move it out. Let's move this clip. Let's take this band off, see how much of a makeup line we have. Not too shabby. You can definitely still see the cap, but part of me is okay with it today. All right, guys, this is the final look, y'all. She's cute. The hair is not like overly curled, which we love. And you know, a simple little 1-2, okay, a simple little beat. But y'all, I really appreciate y'all like sticking with me throughout this video. Like, if you watch this whole video, I appreciate y'all. But 32, single, no kids, and like kind of figuring out where I want to be career wise has been a journey. And I am focused on the journey, not the destination. It's just like we have so much time, but not that much time. And if we dwell on where we are versus like the journey itself, it can really knock us out. It can really, really knock us out. And I'm not trying to be that way. Like, I want to live life to the fullest, like legit. If I want to travel, I'm going to do it. If I want to date somebody no, we're not doing that. We're not just dating anyone. Let's be clear. If I want to travel, I'm going to do it. If I want to try a new job, I'm going to do it. If I want to set these boundaries, I'm going to do it. I just know that this is not all God has for me, and I want to start showing up more as me in all elements. I think I've seen so many times or heard so many times from people like, I didn't know that you were going through this, or you put on a version of yourself that nothing affects you, nothing bothers you, nothing stresses you out, and that's not true. Y'all just don't get the phone calls and or texts when those things happen, and I think that's me putting up boundaries. But I also need to be a little bit more open with you all about those moments or these moments where I'm just in a place of like, what's next? And how can we get to the next step? And how can we be a better version of ourselves? I'm very, very good at we're being transparent. I'm very good at trying not to let things bother me. Especially not on the outside. Will they bother me mentally? Sure. Will they bother me like in silence? Yes. But I'm learning to be a little bit more vocal. Also learning how to say things when they do bother me, because if they do bother me to a certain extent, I will say that it's a little bit rude. And I need to stop that, okay? So we're just growing and trying to be the better version of ourselves than we were yesterday, because young Maliqua was very headstrong, emphasis on headstrong, very much so like unapologetic, and very much so nonchalant. And being a nonchalant, sensitive person is kind of like contradictory. It's like, girl, do you care or do you not? What is it? I'm both. I don't care, but I really do care, like 1,000,000,000 times. Okay. I just won't say it. I really, really won't say it. I'll journal about it. I will do everything other than say, oh, that bothered me. And we're growing out of that. We are becoming one with our feelings and becoming emotionally intelligent. Okay. My makeup is cute. My hair is cute. It's 8 o'clock and I got nowhere to be, but that's okay. Yeah, thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment down below if you are 30 or in your 30s and you figuring it out, sis. Comment down below if you are adulting and you are figuring this ish out, because every day is different. No day is like the day before. Yeah. I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it. The next video that I post won't be so dramatic or all over the place, but that's it. I just came on here to spill my tea, my personal tea of figuring out life, figuring out how my brain works, which is all over the place. That's how my brain works. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
I better find your loving. I better find your heart. I better find your loving. I better